Mr. Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma is sentenced to undergo 15 months imprisonment. Mr. Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma is ordered to submit himself to the South African Police at Nkandla Police Station or Johannesburg Central Police Station within 5 calendar days from the date of this order.
On the 29th of June 2021, the Constitutional Court made this groundbreaking ruling. It came after former President Jacob Zuma failed to appear before a commission of inquiry into allegations of state capture.
We can assume that that convoy should be carrying the former president, Jacob Zuma.
But as the gates of Estcourt Correctional Center in KwaZulu-Natal closed, trouble was brewing.
There are people, especially in KZN, who feel that is above the law. There's some kind of a god, that there's a personality cult, very unhealthy personality cult for a democratic society, that regardless of how one breaks the law, and that person should not be punishable by ordinary laws that apply to everybody.
The former president's incarceration triggered a massive political and social avalanche. Between the 9th and 18th of July, shopping malls in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal were targeted. Businesses were vandalized. In that chaos, over 350 people lost their lives. The July riots further suffocated what was an already battered economy. More jobs were destroyed, pushing the rate of unemployment to unprecedented levels. If the economy was going to be saved, South Africans needed to roll up their sleeves. It's a cold and wet Monday evening. Government officials, corporate leaders, and tourism practitioners are gathered at a venue in the north of Johannesburg. The occasion? The launch of a campaign to rebuild South Africa's tourism industry.
When we went into lockdown in 2020, people, started living behind high walls, behind closed doors. We started living lives that are not really natural to the human species, where we couldn't interact with one another, we couldn't travel to where we needed to travel. And now we believe that the world is beginning to open up. South Africa is opening up mutually with all of its source markets. And it is now time for the world to come back out and live beyond, the screen and live in, the real, world environment.
We'll be landing shortly in South Africa.
And this is the campaign South African tourism is launching. It's known as Live Again.
The campaign is all about calling out to the world to come back into South Africa and to feel alive again, to live again.
Efforts to resuscitate the economy stretch to Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape. Here, government is unveiling a multi-million rand construction project. It's a residential complex that's expected to be completed soon.
Projected job creation of about 64,000 and no less than 18 billion from the onset. And it's anticipated that it has a possibility of attracting a number of other investment, which is the purpose of organizing it in this fashion. Remember, this project started with the Bay West Mall. It's about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. That Bay West Mall on its own has actually created no less than 6,000 jobs that we have been informed. Secondly, that no less than 200 SMMEs have benefited to the value of no less than 300 million. Also, I want to say this project is one of the projects that the president spoke about, not less than 7, where through 1.8 billion that the state is putting aside is unlocking no less than 133 billion in the country. This is one of the proof of that project.
But are these efforts enough, especially considering the magnitude of the damage in the last 2 years?
What the government has to do, and I don't think the government really has much of a choice, is it needs to take its stranglehold off of the economy, allow ordinary South Africans, communities, to start engaging in economic activity without worrying about a permit here or a license there or permission from a minister here. Let a free market, an open market flourish so that we can get out of this very deep hole that the government has dug for us.